Welcome back to Rachel B. the Healthy Wee. Today we're going to do a 2-ingredient vegan ice cream staying with our summer themed series. So as you can see here, you're going to want to use some ripe bananas and slice them and freeze them ahead of time. What I did was I used the parchment paper to go ahead and separate them, and they actually come apart really nicely when you do that as far as freezing them. After they have completely frozen, you can remove them from the parchment paper and then just put them in a bag. And then we're going to use some dark cocoa powder. That can be Dutch process if you like, or just plain cocoa nibs. That's certainly up to you. 2 to 3 tablespoons. And we're going to use equivalent to 2.5 to 3 bananas. And since I processed this, I know that's about 2 sheets. So I'm going to go ahead and lift off 2 sheets and put them in my food processor. Food processor is best. If you do not have one, you can use a high-speed blender. But with that, you will more than likely need either some coconut cream or a milk of your choice, quote unquote milk, about 1/4 cup to help your blender process that along. But if you have a food processor, that'd be best. I have one, it's just a little small one. Then I'm going to add some extra stuff later on because we're going to turn this into Rocky Road. But first, let's go ahead and start with the base chocolate banana ice cream. So even my food processor is having a little bit of difficulty, so I'm going to go ahead and open up and add a little bit of the coconut cream that I showed you. I would recommend the coconut cream versus a milk though, if you can, just for the simple fact that you get a much creamier consistency. I'm going to start with about half of the 1/4 cup and go from there. You're going to want to stop periodically and go ahead and scrape the sides because you're going to want to process it, but as little as possible because the longer you're in here, it generates heat and you don't want to melt it. So combine it, but hopefully without over processing it. If so, we have a trick for that in a minute. So okay, so we did 15-second burst because I obviously don't want to overheat my food processor either, or the mixture. And it looks like we're just about done. As you can see, it's ice cream slash, I don't know, would you call this soft serve? I think it's kind of soft servy. If you want it to be thicker than this, feel free to go ahead and put it in a container and put it in the freezer about 30 minutes to an hour and you can make it thicker. But here's where I recommend tasting to see if you need to add any sugar for your taste. Sorry, you know what I mean, not sugar, but sweetener of your choice. Let's see. I personally think it's pretty sweet, so.
It tastes like a Wendy's Frosty.
It does. So it tastes like a Frosty at the moment. So I added the 1/4 cup. We did roughly 2.5 tablespoons of the cocoa powder, and like I told you, that was approximately 3 bananas frozen. So what I'm going to do is pull mine out, put it in a bowl, and then show you what I fold in to make mine Rocky Road, and we'll be right back. All right, so as I said, my food processor, I'll show you again because I have a multi-use unit, is a little bit small. It's roughly 5 cups, and that was about 4.5 cups is what the equivalent to 3 bananas made, so just so you know. So here I have mini chocolate chips, pecans, you can certainly use almonds, but I like pecans, and some mini marshmallows. So if you're doing vegan, I recommend the Enjoy Life. I mean, it has 3 ingredients in it, which is pretty awesome. It literally is cane sugar, unsweetened chocolate, and cocoa butter. Love these. A little pricey, but they're really yummy. And then Yamalo vegan marshmallows. Not gonna lie, the decent amount of sugar in there, not necessarily the first thing I'd run to, but if you're vegan, what are you gonna do? So I'm using a 1/4 cup, a scant 1/4 cup on the chocolate chips since they're small, 1/4 cup of the marshmallows, and then a 1/4 cup of the nuts, and we're gonna throw that in and mix it up. And obviously we thought ours was sweet enough, but I have this other product off to the side. Sweetened condensed coconut milk. If you wanted to sweeten it a little, that'd be something I could recommend that you could possibly use to sweeten it. Because whenever you're doing any kind of ice cream, the crystallization when you freeze it is always better in smaller crystals when the only sugars you use or sweeteners are liquid form. So here we go. We just are gonna go ahead and mix that in. And we now have vegan Rocky Road. We're gonna let my husband try it and see what he thinks. He already thought it tasted like a Frosty, so. Sorry, you hear my goslings? I bet you that's gonna come through on the microphone, so they're cheapened.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't need more sugar. The bananas are sweet enough as it is.
And again, I waited until they were nice and ripe, starting to get just a few of the brown spots, and then I sliced them up and put them in the freezer. So, like I said, you get that really nice sweetness. So, no additional sweetener. Tastes like a Frosty if you don't add anything into it, so feel free to do that if you just want to do that. And like I said, if you want it firmer than the soft serve consistency, go ahead and put it in your freezer for 30 minutes to an hour and then bring it out. So vegan, non-dairy, fun Rocky Road treat. Hope you enjoy and give it a try if this works for you. Thanks for watching.